guys, in today's video I wanted to talk about this trend that I keep seeing everywhere on the internet of using rice water to grow your hair. Bear in mind, there is zero data for using rice water to actually grow hair. So if you are somebody who has pattern hair loss or hair loss related to either genetics or maybe some underlying medical condition, please do not be misled into thinking that rice water is going to correct that issue and regrow your hair. However, rice water has a ton of compounds and active ingredients in it that are actually very good for not only your hair, but your scalp. So it's actually a good thing to try if you're interested in making your hair look shiny and healthy. As a matter of fact, many of the compounds in rice water you will find in tons of products over the counter that are marketed for thickening and increasing volume. You'll see a lot of these ingredients that rice water naturally has. So yeah, at the end of the video, I'll talk about how to make rice water to use it in your hair, but let's just go over what exactly is in rice water. I think the most obvious ingredient in rice water is starch. Rice water is very starchy, and starch can coat the hair shaft, making it shiny and glossy. And it also can help hydrate the hair shaft quite a bit, and not only the hair, but the scalp itself. Then rice water has a carbohydrate called inositol in it that actually stays in your hair after you've rinsed the rice water out. Rice water also has a ton of amino acids that can deposit on the hair shaft and help strengthen it and reduce hair breakage, hair fragility, and frizz. You will see amino acids as ingredients in strengthening shampoos and strengthening conditioners. So boom, you have it there in rice water as well. And those amino acids also help to add shine and smoothness to the hair and kind of help with reducing frizz, especially after shampooing. You know, one of the unfortunate things that happens with shampooing, while it helps to cleanse the scalp, unfortunately it deposits a negative charge on the hair shaft. And that's why you can get a lot of static. And conditioners and conditioning products are basically aimed at neutralizing that charge, that negative charge from shampooing. And you can achieve a lot of that using rice water because it has these amino acids and things. So you may notice that if you use rice water, you have improvement in hair volume, just kind of by building up on the roots and creating a little bit of a lift and a look of more volume. Rice water also has vitamins A and E, which can help not only in hair shaft hydration, but also in manageability and reducing frizz. Beyond strengthening your hair shafts and helping volumize your roots, rice water also, through these ingredients, can help mend split ends very well. Similar ingredients are found in things that are kind of marketed towards taming split ends. Interestingly, it might also be helpful for folks with seborrheic dermatitis, aka dandruff. There was a study that looked at rice water in terms of its ability to inhibit malassezia, that little yeast that lives on our skin and causes seborrheic dermatitis, as not only on the scalp but also on the face. And they show that rice water actually can reduce the growth of that little pesky yeast. So it hasn't been confirmed in clinical studies or anything, and it's not like it's a approved treatment for dandruff or seborrhea, but it's compelling. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if you might see modest improvement in dandruff using rice water. But to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the video, don't be misled into thinking that this is actually going to regrow your hair and affect the hair cycle in any way and change hair growth. I mean, I guess one potential way that it could help things is that it has, some of these compounds are also anti-inflammatory, so it can help reduce irritation on the scalp. Using something like this, and inflammation and irritation can contribute to pushing the process of hair loss for conditions like androgenetic alopecia, aka pattern hair loss. It's not like a true treatment for hair loss. It basically just strengthens your existing hair, reduces breakage, and kind of creates that volumizing effect. Remember my video on castor oil and the issues about people believe that castor oil regrows hair. It doesn't. It doesn't affect the hair cycle at all, but it coats the hair so much that the hair looks thick, and it creates this illusion of increased hair density. To a certain extent, rice water is doing a lot of the same thing, or any product that you buy over the counter that is marketed to be conditioning and strengthening and volumizing. They all kind of do the same thing as rice water. But rice water, unlike castor oil, is not irritating. There are a lot of adverse outcomes reported with castor oil, like contact dermatitis and matting of the hair. But rice water is pretty benign, so to speak, and well tolerated, and has many of these great ingredients that are present in products that you buy, but doesn't have things like fragrance or certain preservatives that are common in hair care products that people develop allergies to, like methyl isothiazolinone. So I don't know, I think it's actually, in my opinion, it's low risk, potentially high reward. And if you don't like doing it or whatever, it's too much to keep up with, then it's pretty easy to bail on. One potential downside of using rice water on your hair that you should be aware of and address is that it certainly can lead to a buildup. While all of these things like amino acids and carbohydrates and starch locking onto the hair shaft and helping with shine and volume are great, and they yield great cosmetic results, all that buildup over time can actually lead to increased hair breakage. So it's important that if you're using rice water, just as I've said with any other kind of hair strengthening type product, to do some sort of once a week clarifying, like a clarifying shampoo. I have a video all about my favorite clarifying shampoos, and that can kind of help get around that issue. So how do you go about incorporating rice water into your hair care routine? I would say this is not necessarily something that you need to do on a daily basis to attain benefit from. It can be done once a week. If you're somebody who eats a lot of rice, I think that this is really easy for you to keep up with, but if you don't, then you might find that you bail on it more frequently if you're not eating the rice. So, it's kind of going to be up to you whether or not you want to keep up with it. But basically, there are a few different methods that you can use. You can do just a basic soak of rice, and what you do is I'll put the recipes down below in the description box for you guys. So you just take half a cup of rice. It doesn't matter the type, white rice, black rice, brown rice, jasmine rice, and soak it in 2 to 3 cups of warm water for approximately 30 minutes. And then you want to filter out the rice and collect the water, and you might want to put the water in like a spray bottle just to make it easier to actually put on your hair. Don't throw away the rice, cook it and eat it. A lot of people soak their rice prior to cooking it anyway, so like I said, if you're somebody who eats rice, this may be something you're already doing, and you can just keep that water and try using it on your hair. So once you collect the water, try pouring it into like a spray bottle. Then when you wash your hair, go ahead, after you rinse out the shampoo, go ahead and spray the rice water on your hair, up by your roots, massage it into your scalp, and let it sit on there for approximately 5 to 10 minutes, and then rinse it out. Depending on your hair type, you might find that you still want to come in with a conditioner afterwards, or you may find that this alone is enough to keep your hair manageable on the night that you do it or day that you do it. As I said, it's not really something that you necessarily need to do on a daily basis. That might get you too much buildup. Think of it more as like a deep conditioning treatment for improving shine and strength of the hair. But moving on, the next method that you can do that's pretty similar actually is the boiling method. Basically, you're just taking the leftover water after you've cooked the rice, and you just take half a cup of uncooked rice, again, any type, it doesn't matter, and go ahead and put the rice plus 2 to 3 cups of water like on the stove over medium heat, bring it to a boil, and then allowing the rice to cook. You can either then just collect the water off the top of the rice, scoop it all out, or you can do the straining thing once the rice has cooked fully and strain out your rice and eat it. Don't waste it. And then allow that water to come to room temperature, pour it into a spray bottle, and do the same thing where once you wash your hair and you rinse out the shampoo, you spritz the rice water on to the hair, the roots, massaging into the scalp, leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes, and then rinse it out. The third method takes a little bit more time and patience, and that is a fermentation method. But this method actually has the advantage in that it enriches the rice water for antioxidants, which can kind of help in combating free radical damage on the scalp and reducing inflammation. And also, this method acidifies the rice water, making it more compatible with the pH of your scalp. So this is actually better, but takes a little bit more time and patience. So for the fermentation method, you're just gonna do the soak method, where you soak half a cup of uncooked rice in 2 to 3 cups of water for 30 minutes, and then strain out the rice for cooking and eating. And take that water, instead of putting it into a spray bottle, you're gonna put it in a jar and leave it for 24 hours at room temperature. This will allow the fermentation process to ensue, enriching the rice water and antioxidants, as I said, and lowering the pH, making it more compatible with the pH of your scalp, which ultimately can be very beneficial for the skin barrier of your scalp. And then after that 24 hours, go ahead and store it in the refrigerator. And you don't want to keep it beyond 2 to 3 days. So make sure that you use it right away. And again, you can just pour it into like a spray bottle and spritz it on your hair after you've washed it and rinsed out the shampoo. And again, leave it on for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes again, and then rinse it out. So definitely more involved. You know, you have to be prepared and do it in advance of when you plan to do it, but pretty hands off. I mean, you just have to leave it in a jar at room temperature for 24 hours. It's not like you have to mind it or anything. So yeah, that's how to do it. Comment below on if you guys have done this, but I actually am pretty enthusiastic about the use of rice water for hair care. You know, I always caution you guys against certain DIY remedies that have potential risks, but this, unlike many of them, is actually very logical and low risk, and there's a lot of benefit that you can derive from this very simple, inexpensive DIY hair care product. Comment below on if you would like a video on using rice water for skincare and skin brightening. I would love to do that for you guys as well. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.